All right, welcome to the Patriot Hour. We got Scott in studio.
Good afternoon.
What is going on with everybody? All right, we got about 90 people in the room. See a couple of the mods. Randy Robbins, how you doing? Michigan here at the Patriot Hour. Randy's from Michigan. Interesting.
Second time viewer. Love the Patriot Hour. Good. Welcome back.
Nice. Welcome all Patriots, new and old. The original Patriots and the newbies. All right. We got some different things we're going to talk about here, folks. Some of the
18%, 126. Hello, Edward. Mine's got Michigan. Yeah, Mikey and I were just up in Michigan. We're close enough to the Michigan border anyway, so going to Michigan isn't anything new for us, but we did spend the morning crawling around a machine tool in southern Michigan.
Doing a little bit of real-world scenario work, folks.
Yeah, unfortunately. Sometimes you got to get your hands dirty.
Now it's time to get our minds right.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say dirty. So what is going on? Anything anybody wants to talk about? Obviously, we have some things we're going to discuss, but any bulletins, anything at all, shout them out. We'll see if we can cover any of it or all of it.
Okay, Mike, watch the old world. Florida's in the house.
Oh, God, I miss Florida.
What part of Michigan? Up there by,
Or Marcellus.
Yeah.
Marcellus, Michigan. Just a stone's throw away from Indiana. Chicago. All right.
Mind control, key on drugs, Canada here. I don't get it. Detroit, Michigan, Dwayne Mullinger. We didn't get up that far.
No alert. You was on again.
No alert. John Hook is in the house. Still working on that meme, buddy. Just been a little bit busy. Canada in the house. So what's up with this Cumio, Andrew Cuomo? I don't really like either of the Cumio brothers. One's on CNN.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Which one are you looking at?
and then Andrew Cuomo. Here, I'll click this article up. It'll be on this top screen up here.
Oh, the New York City mayor?
Yeah, look up there on that.
Yeah, he's a twit.
Andrew Cuomo signs gun confiscation. We went over this yesterday. I was just talking to Scott a little about it, what he thought, and he hadn't had much to hear about it yet. But the red flag, they're calling it, so it's a red flag law. So basically, we got all these new words coming into play, but it's the same old antics. They're going to redo 2.0 words to be like, last time we came through, it was straight up gun confiscation. This time we're going to call it red flag.
We're disguising it as something in which it is not.
It's just a bunch of word porn, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line is you don't have your gun.
Because somebody said you should be on a list, and of course now you got to go in front of a judge and explain yourself.
Yeah.
America, baby. That state, people are running from New York City. Well, they're running from New York in general, but...
Well, I guess this Cuomo finally agrees with, he was sitting there, I don't know, and he said, we're already $4 billion less, or trillion, I don't know, $4 billion for the state, just from the get-go, what they normally had the year before. And he said it was to do with some of Trump's stuff and the way they do, but other than that, they just lost people. And everyone's like, what are you going to do? Is it raising the tax on the rich going to? He's like, nah. He goes, honestly, I don't think that's going to work because they'll just leave.
Yeah, no kidding.
And when they do leave, you see that they leave New York, where it's like some of the highest taxes in the country, and they end up like in Florida, where there is no state tax.
I was just in Florida, and that was a big conversation while we were down there about all of the millionaires that are just flooding into Florida because of the tax laws.
Yeah, because they make enough off of vacationers and stuff to not have to impose a state tax on them.
Well, a gallon of milk I think costs $6.79. I was kind of blown away. So some things are a little bit more costly, but it's the price you pay if you're going to have sunshine all day.
Yeah.
I would do it. I plan on doing it. Just quit drinking milk.
Yeah.
Milk's more expensive than beer, so easy choice.
Yes, you start putting beer in your cereal, folks. It's an easy fix.
Yeah. So, shout out to, what's the gal's name for the beanies? I'm sorry, I
Johnson.
probably just said
No,
you,
it's. I just don't want to get it wrong.
we got some new ones. Mikey I got mine finally today.
Looking all over.
Very stylish. I'll take my headphones off and turn this one around. See it. It's nothing more or less than what Mike's is, but so
Nothing works. Nothing.
very, very much appreciated.
Yes, it's
It's always nice to have our logo out there on the streets.
Julie Johnson.
Julie.
See, I knew it was Johnson. I couldn't remember the first name. I just wanted to be sure 100%. But yes, Julie Johnson. And wow, we really appreciate it. So Scott's got one, Ben's got one coming, and then I did do the email thing, and that's still going, folks. Email, let me know you want one, and we'll get probably one or two out. Again, I still got the challenge coins. Julie Johnson had asked, like, hey, is there any way I could, after sending the one hat and then another 10 of them or something, then she was like, can I maybe purchase a challenge coin? I'm like, you got one coming for nothing. So she'll be a receiver of a Armor of God challenge coin.
Dana's asking that Patriot Hour, what is an email I can contact you on?
That is below this video. It's the Patriot Hour 2018 at Gmail.
If you accidentally hit Mike or I's PayPal, that's fine too.
Yes. Hold on here. Let me make sure everything's under this actual video on this channel, because that's a good point. I'll put it in this rotating ticker at the bottom here, folks. I can do that real quick as well. Let me
Cherokee
title
X
editor.
told Dana it is in the description.
Ticker. I'll just make sure Patriot Hour 28.
Fluid Pour Art by Greg. I want
Gmail.
to tell y'all to keep us in your prayers. My son's in the hospital at this moment. Yeah, sorry to hear that, Greg.
Yes, brother. Keep us informed. Prayers. If everyone here can shoot a little prayer over to Fluid Pour Art by Greg. Son's in the hospital.
Sheila Hamilton came in nice. She says, I'm sorry, what are you selling? I'm not really selling them, but I suppose we could.
Yeah, we don't have any merch yet. We talked about it when I was struggling to do that website. It just really got in the way for a month and a half. It was like I was like, what am I doing here? I just wanted to focus on this message, and I figured down the road we'd get into merch or all the other fun stuff. But it might be closer to now than sooner than later.
I'll send an email, but I'd still buy a coin and a beanie. Well, I have to get with Julie and find out how many of these hats we can actually get. Now, of course, we got to mark them up 1,000%.
Yes.
Got electric bills to pay here.
1,000%. Noah Christian Dash. Prayers. That's who we want to send prayers to, folks. Noah Christian Dash.
Fluid.
That's Fluid's Pour Art by Greg's son.
Yeah.
Again, send prayers.
Okay.
So, gun ownership. Well,
That's just an exhausting topic. I can't believe it keeps coming up. It's
what do you think about the Cohen testimony, by the way? I mean,
well, good. I'm glad you asked. I think it's shit. I'm sorry. Pardon my language. This guy was uncredible.
a month ago.
Yeah, not too long ago, the liberals hated him, and now they're just. The thing that bothers me is I was listening to talk radio this morning, and the one lawyer that was on the show, he said, he was asked the same thing. What'd you think about that? And he says, nothing. Nothing new came out. This is the same stuff that they've been telling us, or that Cohen, he's been saying. Nothing new happened on Wednesday. So all it was a dog and pony show. In my opinion, it was tasteless and classy, or lack of it wasn't classy. On the same day that the President of the United States is trying to strike a deal and get the
Positive stuff done.
Yeah, they wanted to come on, and they've pushed this back and delayed it 2 or 3 times. So it's not like it would have like stopped the world if they delayed it again. They just very tasteless that they did it on a day that the president was on the world stage trying to accomplish something, for this country, for the rest of the world, as far as I'm concerned. So Very tasteless. The guy is a liar. He's going to prison because he
Yes.
lied and cheated, and so now he's supposed to be a credible witness. And again, nothing new came from it. It's garbage.
I'm gonna see if I can find it. So there was a really good point to that. A guy came on Chris Cuomo's show on CNN the other night, the day before this hearing. He's like, "What do you expect tomorrow?" And the guy goes, "I don't think we're gonna get anything, good sir. This guy's a liar. I don't know why they're giving him the platform." He just went on and on to make a very valid point of this guy was there less than a month ago lying under oath, and now this, because maybe the year flipped, it's like not December of 2018, it's now February of 19. It's like, oh, it was last year he came, and it was only a month ago. And
liar, liar, his pants were on fire in prison.
That's hilarious.
Somebody's trying to strike a deal, trying to back. I mean, the same people you and I talked about it this morning, the same people that were discrediting him and couldn't stand him, said he can't be trusted and whatnot, are the Clintons and Aberdeen or the Obama administration. I think are probably behind him somehow, trying to say, we'll get your time shortened if you just continue on with this lying scheme.
Yes.
I don't know. He's not doing himself any favors. He's already going to go to prison, and the only reason that he could be doing this and then continuing with this narrative is if he's getting something in return. Maybe he wants a minute in the light.
Is there a book deal? That's what they kept asking. It's
Right.
like, well, not anything that I know of right yet, but there's been a lot of deals come forward for a movie. All this stuff has been presented in front of him.
The other one, let's see, New York, the guns. Go figure that the state of New York is doing this, but what about killing a baby? Now, it was voted down, but killing a baby after it's born, going to make the baby comfortable while the doctor and the mother discusses it. We've had these conversations before. How liberal do we have to get before we're completely just stupid?
Yes.
That's murder. Once that child, and they say, well, it's in the benefit of the mother. It's the mother's health. Well, I'm sorry. Once the said mother pushes baby out, baby is now an American citizen. Mother's life is no longer in danger, right?
Yes.
Because you can't use that analogy or that reasoning anymore, that logic anymore, because once the baby, the pest, the termite or whatever you're going to call that baby, it was a endangerment to the mother. Once baby is gone or out of mom's body, it's not an American citizen. Mom has no right to kill that baby. That's its own being.
Yes.
Right? But again, if I kill or anybody kills a pregnant woman, you can be tried, or you will be tried for double homicide.
for two people. And it's like, well, that lady said she was going to have the kid and she wanted it, and they were all happy about the birth. They actually had a baby room all done up and ready. And then, so it's like, you can't have it both ways. This is what we talk about all the time. They want it. So here, how about just reread this one, Scott? Look up on that.
One just makes me sick.
Look up on this top screen. See
anonymous.
That? Or whoops.
Last bread. If a baby is born alive, doesn't he or she have automatic entitlement as a human being to life-saving measures? If a baby is born alive, is it murder to kill him or her? Why was this bill ever needed? Don't doctors take the Hippocratic oath to save lives? These are all basic questions that for some reason these New Yorkers or Virginia, New York.
Yeah, there's a few different states.
So if you want to kill babies, move to those liberal states. And those are the same damn people that sit there and say, Trump's separating mothers from their children at the southern border. We need to do something. These are the same crazy clowns that tell you pop up on a commercial, send $19.99 a month to take care of a dog or a cat. It's but it's okay to kill a kid. Well, it's not okay to kill a kid if Trump's separating him and causing problems. But if they choose to kill kids, it's supposed to be. It's just the hypocrisy and the stupidity has reached an all-time high. I thought Cortez's Green Deal was probably the stupidest thing I've ever heard, and then they turn right around and vote on killing a baby after it's out of the mom. You know what? If you have to take a baby while it's in its mother and you have to do something and maybe it ends its life to save the mother, I guess I can go along with
like
that.
a medical circumstance or whatever.
Not because you don't want the kid, because you forgot to have an abortion the last 9 months. I don't believe it in any way, because if you ask these same hypocrites, when does life start? You know, we go to Mars because they found bacteria and cells on Mars or someplace else. Well, once a cell doubles, right? Science says once that starts happening, that's a living thing. And I'm not talking just babies.
We're looking for that in foreign...
and we're looking at on other planets for reasoning to go there, but a baby's not a baby or a human being until it takes its first breath of air and is out of mom's vag. I'm sorry, but it doesn't...
They stick to the science on a lot of things until it comes to...
Until it doesn't work for them.
Your DNA's of a man. How dare you? You know, it's...
Yeah. You will address me as ma'am. That guy was all dressed up. He obviously was transgender. I don't even know. They don't even know what to call themselves. That's why we have all these... what is it when you use a bunch of letters to acronyms? They're coming up with all these new acronyms, and so they want me to be confused. They are so confused, they don't even know what they are, but they're going to get upset with me for calling, hi, sir, how are you? I'm not a sir. You identify me. What are we, all Prince now? We're going to walk around with a freaking sign or a symbol? I don't recognize myself or identify myself with an American human being anymore. I am now an Indochina woman living on Mars, so you will, what the hell? What is the point behind all this? We're just...
I agree.
Let's kill kids and then turn right around and complain about separation of kids on the border. It's garbage. You're exactly right. It just goes along with the Cohen. We don't like it until we need it, and then we approve it. I mean, that might as well be their damn slogan anymore.
Yeah.
Call it the hypocritical oath, because...
The hypocritical oath. I took it.
We talked a little bit. I wish that you could see this before we went live right now or did this show. But for those of you that heard Bill Maher the other night, he's one of these guys that think that everybody's watching him, and he's the man. He's on this big platform. He made some real derogatory comments about conservatives and or anybody that follows Trump and or anybody that lives in rural areas. They're all jealous of us. They all want to be us. This is him saying this.
We're the movers and shakers in the big cities.
We have liberal arts. We have fancy restaurants. The players and the doers are in the big cities. Don't worry about the reds. The rural America is so out of touch and so boring and old-fashioned. Hey, Bill, thou how do I want to say? Thou thinks too highly of oneself. Nobody gives a... Well, I guess he's got maybe 500,000 people that plug into his show. I mean, apparently we got watchers, so he's probably got some. But for him to stand on that stage and use his platform to pretty much insult
everybody.
He did exactly what Hillary did. Called us all deplorables. And now, so if any of you guys watch Bill Maher, stop. I'm begging you to stop, or at least if you do watch it, take really good notes and get back on here, or make attention on Facebook and all these tweets and things. Call him out.
Yes.
If I seen him on the street, I'd smack the son of the SOB. What did you mean by that? Because I live in Indiana and I'm not from L.A. or New York City or Chicago or one of the big liberal metropolitan areas that I'm a waste? Hey, Bill, you need watchers, right? I hope people that don't even like me tune in just to hear what I have to say so they can use it. At least I'm getting, if they're talking about me, whether it's good or bad, it's good for the show, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Maybe that's his way of thinking.
Well, on the Cohen topic real quick, too, they kept talking about, he's got new stuff he's going to bring up tomorrow, new evidence. I'm like, he's had 5 court cases where he was supposed to turn over all evidence that he had of anything, and I'd be damned if he already took the sentence of lying, getting ready to do prison time, and then wants to come out with some new stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, you should have turned that in. You've lied a lot. You must have lied a lot to people when they were asking, you got anything more? Nope. And then I got something new now. Come on. Yeah. So it was.
I would like to start by saying that in his speech, that was pathetic. I'd like to start. I'm sure the American people believe and think that I'm, a liar.
I've lied,
and
but
I have, and I apologize. But I want you to know right now, from this point forward, I'm going to lie a little more.
Yeah.
That's what he might as well just said it. I'm just sitting here lying my rear off. No, he's not. He's not believable.
Nope.
It blows my mind to see that. I love the clips that they took.
Like, that's all it takes is to get a liar to come on, say a bunch of things that they wanted him to say. He was clearly working and brought there by the DNC. He had said it while I was talking to Adam Schiff, this guy, that guy.
All the people running these investigations and committees. And
it's like, what did they get out of it? All the Democrats are screaming, well, based off what he just said the other day, we need to open up tons of new investigations into him.
Correct.
And it's like, wait, you guys are all rallied up for this Russia one that was started on kind of the same pretest of lies and DNC giving stuff.
Sure.
And now that didn't pan out 2.5 years. Yeah, but what this Cohen guy is kind of talking about, that looks like some stuff we can look into. Well, he's a liar too, and it's another pretest of starting something off a liar. You guys want to really go down this road?
I think the American people are exhausted with all of this. And maybe that's the DNC's end game too. Let's just exhaust it to death to where they say, you know what, even Trump's followers and voters are, maybe there's a chance they won't vote for him because they're just tired of it. But don't ever, ever, ever doubt that to what they're doing to Trump, they're going to continue to do. We have taken this liberal jump of faith, or they have. And so I don't care when Trump's out of office in 2020, 2024, 2028, and so on and so on. From this point forward, we're going to see this magnify and get worse and worse and worse. If you're a conservative and you run for politics, especially at that level of the White House, you don't have a fair shot anymore. So at some point, the people just need to just speak up and just shut up. And the best way to do that is get these sons of guns voted out. Quit re-electing. And I know most of us are probably not the reason why, like a Cortez, Schumer, a Pelosi are in office. And now they're wanting to go after the Electoral College. I mean, that's what they want to do. I just heard more scuttlebutt about that. It's like they're going to keep trying. They're going to rip this country apart. And if they can't have it that way, their end game is just make it hard for anybody to actually enjoy being here.
Oh, yeah. So this guy had said, once a perjurer, always a perjurer. David Bozie exposes Michael Cohen for lying again. So during that testimony he did, they're saying he lied again. So this former Trump attorney and future jailbird, Michael Cohen, put on quite the performance today before Congress. This article, I read this yesterday, but we'll just kind of skim it. Nailed it. Biggest joke of the transition, beginning of the bitterness that he was never going to get into.
And he lied.
Yeah.
They asked him, aren't you just, isn't it true, sir, that you're just sitting here because you're upset that you never made it to the White House? I did not want to make it to the White House. I never wanted
to. Now they come out with all the video footage.
Right back to what,
I think they were playing that this morning, right? Yeah, some audio.
CNN even showed, well, he was on CNN.
Well, hopefully in the White House I'll be.
Yeah.
Because we'll see you again in the future.
Stay in touch. Yeah, stay in touch. We're rooting for you. It's like, oh my God, you forgot we live in a era that
digital age.
They have recordings. I mean, this ain't Watergate. You can't say that's not my voice. We see your face on. You're on CNN even saying it. But now no. What I meant to say was, shoot. He gets caught and he just keeps rambling. He's like a 10-year-old. They'll lie to cover a lie to cover a lie, and then before long he forgot what he lied about to begin with. So much easier just to upset people and tell the truth so you can move on.
And then do you think there's anything with Russia? No, I don't think there was. But I do know what. I know that Trump, that he is a racist, he is a con man, and he is a cheat.
Yeah.
Those are just, again, slanderous words of
okay, but is that credible?
Oh,
okay.
Based off that, we should open up investigations?
Exactly. Well, he's a creep. Cohen said he's a creep. Let's just throw the book at him.
And, yeah. I mean, well, people don't flip that much. It's like, folks, if he was all with Trump for 10 years, then how is he with all the Democratic Clinton Asia people, Lanny Davis, and he's embedded with them now. He's in bed with them. How did that happen?
I don't know, but somebody was just commenting on the Electoral College vote. It is a concern if they try to get rid of it. I had a little conversation with a guy that I always liked. He's a union local worker in he overheard a conversation, and he just sat back in his bar stool and screamed and yelled. I mean, yelled, "F Trump, can't stand him. He's a worthless, blah, 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 blah." I'm like, whoa. And he said, they do need to do away with the electoral college. Hillary should be president because of the popular vote. And I literally looked him in the face, and I thought of you as an educated man. Do you understand that with the popular vote, California and New York and Illinois will run this entire country, and what's good for those 3 states isn't necessarily good for Iowa or Wyoming or Maine or Hawaii or Alaska or Indiana or wherever you're from. Those politics don't work. We're such a big country. Things are different, right? We have different regions, and your laws up there in the Northeast don't work for Texas because Texas is a different. They have different products that they sell. You know, they're oil, and they have they're oceanside country or state, and they freight stuff in and out. So maybe their tax laws and their makeup, their political makeup, isn't the same as Rhode Island or Seattle, Washington, and it's never gonna be. But this country is so big and so diverse. The states have the right to be represented, right? And if you do away with that, then what's the point of even having states anymore? If it's just going to be a popular vote, then it just doesn't make sense to me that anybody is so dumb to want to go ahead and, by saying get rid of electoral college, what you're saying is we want to follow the way California, New York, and Illinois are. Okay, look at the deficit. Look at the quarter. 1 out of every 4 in California was not born in the United States. They have a serious immigration problem. I looked at this guy and I'm like, you really want those 3 cities? They should. Oh, because they're blue, and I know you're a union, so apparently you're told that you have to vote blue.
Yeah.
This is not your dad's union. This is not your dad's Democratic Party. This is a socialist new party. So I don't understand the logical thinking by anybody.
Well, so even like that though, Hillary should be president.
Well, no, Bernie should be, because she screwed Bernie.
So I'm saying, so if Hillary was, it's like, would she be under all these investigations right now? No. We had the clear crap that she did. Comey came out and even named it all. Like, she did this. We did find that. We found a bunch of security emails. But we're not going to press any charges. Now these same people started this stuff into Trump. We've been looking for 2 years. They can't even come out and say, we did find this, we did find that, we did find him doing this, but we're not going to charge them. They haven't found anything yet.
Yeah.
But, you know, we know all the people surrounding Hillary. I mean, there can be all kinds of, there's people that shouldn't have probably really had the clearances they had. There's a lot of questionable people in the Obama administration with the Hillary and the Huma Abedin, her ties to the Muslims, and just certain reasons that they wouldn't have been able to attain because of association to certain people, certain known terrorists, that they shouldn't have had clearances to have access to things, and they did. So those were bypassed. Who put a leaning on that? Was it, was it Obama? Was it Hillary herself? There's so many ways to investigate that lady and all the stuff around them. But here you got people begging for more of what we had. That's the sad thing. A lot of people used to agree with, like, yeah, I think government's kind of getting maybe not so trustworthy, and it's not so beneficial to us, and we just need a normal person to come in and then beat this system up. And then we finally might have that, and people can't even see it, and they're begging for more of what we just got out of. That's a scary part.
California is so dumb they are burning out their taxpayers. See, that's the ultimate plan here, and this is, I don't know how fast I can say this, but example number 1, local professor ethics, I think it was, told his class we're going to try all this semester. We're just going to do socialism. That means we're going to have 4 different tests, and we're going to get graded on a curve. So real quickly, the first test came out. 1 or 2 people didn't really study. They failed, but they still passed because the rest of the class studied. And then the guy that got a straight A really didn't get an A. He actually got like a 95%. And he's like, that's garbage, man. I just aced this, and you're giving me a 95%. And he goes, well, a lot of you guys aced it or did really well, but those 2 down there failed it miserably or didn't even study. So the second test came out weeks later, and 2 or 3 more decided, well, I'm not going to work that hard and study that hard to pass this test. If I'm going to not get a straight A, screw it. I'll just take time off and I won't study. The grade came out, B-. The entire class got a B-, and there were 5 or 6 that got straight A's. They were perfect. But there were more and more and more. So by the time they got to the fourth test, the entire class failed. Because more and more started thinking, I'm not going to work this hard if all I'm going to get is now, because the third one was a C, right? The third test. So now that they came out in the fourth test, everybody failed because they got tired of working their butts off. While some didn't even show up to take the test, but they were going to get a C anyway, or whatever the curve was. So the entire class failed that entire semester of ethics. They all had to take the class over again. They weren't thinking. They weren't getting credit. So they went and filed an appeal with the school. They fired the professor.
Oh, wow.
And he said, I'm teaching ethics. That's my job. And he said, well, you can't just fail everybody because some didn't. He goes, yes, that's a valuable lesson they need to learn in life because that's called socialism. Half the class was really for socialism. And then they found out real quick, oh my God, if there's only 1 out of 30 busting their butts out here in the real world, sooner or later this free stuff is going to catch you and you end up like Venezuela. And these young people they're not getting that basic little lesson. I'm not going to work my ass off so 10 of you don't have to work. That's not that isn't fair.
That's...
But anyway, we could jump all around. The Venezuela one is one that parents, the schools, they're not going to push you because it's all state driven and whatnot. But you need to tell your kids, show them Venezuela. You know, the liberal news isn't showing a whole lot with Venezuela for a reason. It's not. It defeats the whole purpose of their agenda. It's scary. It's scary that we have people that are that stupid, that naive, and that think that it's okay to tell the government, I don't want to work and get paid. One of her line items, those people that don't work or can't work or choose not to work still need economic stability.
Yeah.
No, I'm all for nature in that situation. I'm not saying kill them, but nature always takes care of itself. So.
Yeah, she's got Trump's over some of his win. I was looking for this other one we talked about yesterday, a lady in Rashida. She's the one that cheated Michigan out of the she ran for a different district. But
they burned all the aid that went to Venezuela.
I thought I heard that.
Could they really just burn it? I mean, is there proof? I'm not calling you a liar by any means, but is there proof that this happened? And if it did happen, then what's your next course of send the Third Army down there and just wipe that guy out? Shouldn't they be going in there and taking this guy out? People are dying and
yeah.
But there's no oil or gas or, monies at stake here. So maybe that's going to be just like Africa, the reason why we never really went over there and went to war, because there was no benefit. Well, isn't the benefit taking care of human beings? I don't know. They burned a lot, if not all. Well, Daniel, it got burned, but exactly how is up for debate, or so I saw.
Somebody asked where the super chat button was. There is no super chat here on the Patriot Tech yet. I asked for it. It's been months. It might come, it might not. Who knows? But links are down below for anything, folks. This will be on the Patriot Hour later. I'm recording now, so this will duly be put up there for a premiere, and then the super chat will be there. All right, so what else? I was looking at her. That was breaking news.
Bernie was against sending help. Odd. When I'd seen one interview that he just gave about Venezuela, and he didn't really. He tried to dance around and dodge the bullet on all the questions. It's like, hello, Venezuela is exactly what you are trying to get accomplished here. Free stuff. Well, Bernie. Some of us actually have worked in our life. The only reason he's never worked. That man, it's so easy it's so easy to be liberal, and here's why. Either A, you got so much stuff that it's okay for you to assume the rest of us should give stuff away too, or B, you have no stuff and you want handouts. It's hard to be a conservative. It's hard. And I'm not beating anybody up that happens to be a libertarian. I'm beating up those that use the language of free. we should have free stuff and try to push that agenda onto me. I wish it was that easy. I wish somebody would take care of me. They did. It was called my parents, but now I'm an adult. It's my job.
You weren't asked to come into this world.
Yeah, I should sue my parents. I should sue, and that's happening. And that's what's funny. It's leaving me speechless like, oh my God, and it's gaining support because one idiot gets on TV and gets...
Breeze that.
Then you got a bunch of other kids going, yeah.
That sounds about right.
I want free stuff. I'm going to sue my parents.
I wasn't asked to come into this world either.
So being born went from being a blessing, a miracle that we're all even here, right? It's a miracle to be alive. It's a blessing to have life. To now it's such an emotional strain. Somebody should compensate me for being on this planet.
Yeah, I need to be.
You were compensated with oxygen in your lungs.
Yes.
What do you mean you didn't want to be? Then put a bullet in your head. If you don't want to be here, go ahead and off yourself, and then we can move on.
Murder-side yourself. Double tap to the back of the head.
Jeez. I don't get it. Where the morality is such now where we actually have sympathizers for these idiots. I didn't want to be born, Judge. I need $1 million for I'm suing my parents.
Oh, that's horrible, son. I find that in your favor.
Am I the only one that's like at my wit's end with some of that? I mean, it is just moronic. Moronic. How shameful. My dad, he's probably rolling over and I can't imagine this. My grandparents, all of our loved ones from years past that worked through the depressions, went through the world wars, busted their butts. Somewhere all these damn hippies in the 60s and 70s started having kids. And I want to raise my kids differently. I'm going to not spank them. I'm not going to not punish them. I'm not going to. Well, look what happened, you jerks.
Look what you did.
You had too many damn kids and your liberal ideas just spread. There's fatherless homes. There's free. There's parents going in screaming and suing school boards. And just shut up.
Can't pick your family either.
Oh. Yeah, you can't pick your family.
I wasn't asked to come into this world, and I didn't choose you guys. I need paid.
What'd you just say? We gave a black box, reported 3 dead, no info being investigated, looking for a black box.
Wheezy girl.
Wheezy girl. They are reporting 3 dead. Where? Did I miss something?
Go back to our last comment. If Mueller comes up with anything but the truth, it implicates him. That's right. There's too many investigations going on right around Mueller. Mike, has anything else come out about El Chapo naming names? I know we called out Nancy Pants and Little Shift. Just wondering if anything else has come out about it. Seeker of the truth. Now, I'm not sure if he's named any other names. Look into that.
Can't fix stupid, but we can vote it out. Boy, Cliff, I sure hope you're right.
I like that.
Actually, I used to have a t-shirt that said can't fix stupid.
Can't fix stupid.
My old man always said, because I'm in the service industry.
That didn't happen in the hippie years.
As long as there's dumb people out there, Scott, you're gonna have a real good chance of being successful. And he was absolutely right. Oh man, so many things we could talk about and jump on and get all worked up over. I try not to. I don't want to be. Another cargo plane crash. I wonder what's in the cargo. Very suspicious.
I think it was the Amazon one, right? The Amazon plane guys. Oh.
Of course, El Chapo's sitting in a mansion tucked away somewhere.
Here we go. This is from the other day, by the way. Australia Cardinal George Pell Vatican conviction. Vatican treasurer Pell found guilty of abusing 2 choir boys 22 years ago.
Wow. Yes, I saw the video footage on YouTube. They did burn the aid. Mike, maybe see if you can...
What is that?
Burning the aid in Venezuela.
Okay, let me grab
a YouTube video of that.
Let me check that out.
So there's our tax dollars, folks. Right? We send all that support, and I'm all for helping the people. Now the next thing you send down there are tanks and helicopters, and I'm not saying take over that damn country, but that guy is supposed to be out of there. So get him out of there. We've overthrown worse governments. Or just mind your damn business and don't do anything. I don't know. Personally, Venezuela, I know was a prosperous country before this clown. It was probably the most prosperous country in South America. It's a damn shame of what he's done to it.
They had a chance. They just reset in like 90s or something, wasn't it? The 80s, late 80s, early 90s. So here's 25 years of
and here's the other
socialism.
Thing. If these people fight for their freedoms, they'll appreciate it more than us just going down there and giving it to them. You know, you can lead a horse to water, right? So I don't want to see more American boys. Jesus. You're kidding me.
My Wix site is fast. How fast?
Get this up here.
There it is.
No hay comida, no hay medicina, estamos cansados. A Maduro yo le digo que ya basta.
That's Sonia Ruiz. She's one of millions of Venezuelans fleeing economic collapse and oppression and crossing over here into Colombia. We're in the border town of Cucuta, where there's a tense standoff over the future of Venezuela. The anger is focused on humanitarian aid that the U.S. has sent.
You're kidding me.
So
I see some tractor trailers on fire, and the reports are that was aid going into Venezuela. And are those soldiers blocking and standing on that road in front of that semi?
yeah.
Run them over. Hit the gas pedal. They'll move. I promise they'll move. Tension high as aid
Across the
convoy
bridge
arrives.
separating Venezuela and Colombia. Then one was set on fire. The opposition said it was set ablaze by the Venezuelan soldiers, but the government says the opposition did it to pin the blame.
They're blaming
on
each other, see
Nicolas
that?
Maduro. One incident in a day of
The
confusion
soldiers set it on fire.
violence.
No. The people that were supposed to get the food set it on fire. Yeah.
Venezuela,
Take your
there were
country back.
clashes between
Just take your
supporters of
country back.
opposition leader Juan Guaido and security
There's
forces.
thousands of you.
Several
Storm
people were injured.
the palace, storm it.
Earlier, Venezuelan
Brazil
We took care of the British, and not me, but our ancestors took care of the British. They didn't like what was going on. They had a damn war. They won. They got their freedom.
Inside
No, that's a
Venezuela,
March
where
4.
there
Right there.
That's a March 4 martyr.
Then announced he is
They're
cutting
for him.
ties with Colombia.
And in Venezuelans right here in South Florida
Yeah.
are watching
Isn't
and
he
waiting
in,
to see what happens next. We
Florida
have reaction
right now?
from them
Because he
and
was
local leaders. All of this
don't
is
think
over
so.
a major
Seeking
effort to bring
refuge.
humanitarian aid into Venezuela.
Maduro doesn't want it, and he's blocking the borders to
doesn't
prevent it
Oh,
from
Maduro.
getting in.
Okay,
We have
Maduro's
live
the one
team
in
coverage
charge.
on
The other
every
guy
angle
actually
here.
won the
Louis Aguirre
election, and
is
he's
showing
not
us the
stepping down and
violent
getting
scene
out
from
of his way.
Colombia.
Cody Weddle is inside Venezuela with the message from Maduro.
And Christian De La Rosa is in Little Havana with reaction from right here at home. We start with Louis, though, live in Cucuta tonight.
Andrew, Alex, as you can see, quite a different scene from what we experienced earlier today. Things are pretty quiet right now. We're getting new numbers in, official numbers from Colombian officials. They tell us 285 people have been injured in today's confrontations here on the border between Venezuela and Colombia. 37 of those have been hospitalized, and this is a big number, 60 Venezuelan military officials have defected into Colombia asking for political asylum. Venezuela has not seen these numbers in 20 years. They have not seen a rebellion this big in 20 years. So the majority of that aid may not have gotten through across that border today, but you cannot deny that today was an historic day for the people of Venezuela.
It began with a kiss. Venezuelan opposition supporters arrive at the border early Saturday to try to talk peacefully to their brothers on the other side of the Simón Bolívar Bridge. We don't want violence here. We want a brotherhood with the Venezuelan people. They are members of Nicolas Maduro's national police force, forming a human barricade to prevent the opposition from bringing much-needed humanitarian aid into the country.
Today is the day. And if it's not happening today, it will happen tomorrow or next day.
But it will happen. It will happen.
Quickly, tensions began to mount, and when the opposition arrived en masse by the hundreds, things quickly turned violent. Tear gas canisters deployed, sending the crowd scrambling for cover. But, undeterred, the opposition was determined to breach the barricade and get that aid through.
You're not stopping.
No, we won't. It's all or nothing. All these people living here, they got nothing to lose.
Each time they approach, the clashes grow more violent.
All right, we're 2 hours into this right now. We've been pushed further and further onto the Colombian side of the border. That's because the colectivo, the civilians in Venezuela who have armed themselves and are loyal to the Maduro regime, have become much more aggressive. They've penetrated the border. They're going underneath the bridge and they're throwing tear gas canisters onto the Colombian side of this border.
I put out the guy run out, the blood is made.
And what does that blood mean to you?
It's the blood of the freedom, it's the blood of determination, it's the blood of the people of Venezuela that speak freedom from the people.
Some holding the line just couldn't take it. We saw 2 police officers throw down their shields and defect into Colombia, joining the more than 20 Venezuelan National Guardsmen who throughout the day sought asylum in Colombia. Lieutenant Jose Limas was one of them.
¿Cómo te sientes?
I feel bad, frustrated because my family is over there and I had to defect for this reason. I had to help my people. The attacks from the colectivos grew more bold. They fired rubber bullets into the crowd. The Colombian army mobilized. At least 2 colectivos arrested and beaten by the crowd. But as night fell, the opposition grew no closer to getting that aid across the border. Yet.
How long will you stay here tonight?
People are going to sleep here. People are going to spend the night and going to get ready for tomorrow.
Wow.
And night has come. It is eerie here. A total of 8 trucks left with humanitarian aid. Only 3 trucks made it to Venezuela, and 2 of those trucks were incinerated. But the effort begins anew tomorrow. We're live in Cucuta, Colombia tonight. Louis Aguirre, Local 10 News.
Incredible. Thank you, Louis. Well, also at the Colombian border.
Wow. It's kind of crazy, isn't it, folks? It is a sad, sad situation.
In today's era, today's time, with everything that we have more than enough food to feed everybody in the world. We have more than enough stuff to enjoy life, and here we are. That I could see the United States not collapsing, but I mean, all great empires always in history, none of them last forever.
No, exactly. Rome.
If we're not careful and we don't kind of root out some of this socialist BS we got a brewing, my children, your children, our grandchildren could be faced with this. I don't think our generation will be, because there's just too many of us. I mean, you're not going to. 2 or 3 lines of soldiers with barricades aren't going to stop me. I'll organize 100,000 people and just walk right through that, you know.
Yeah.
I can't believe that this is going. I just don't understand it. Get the guy out of there. Who can be supporting him? Why would you support him? Your dollar has just hit rock bottom. The inflation's like what, 100,000% or something. A dollar. Their dollar now is only worth like 1/10 of 1 penny.
Yes.
It just he's completely collapsed their entire country. They got nothing, but they do. You know, they got oil. Capitalism would take a hold down there, and it would flourish. So I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what Trump plans on doing. I'm not saying send military support at all. I don't know. The guy needs to be thrown out. I mean, I thought the whole point was there was an election and he lost, but he doesn't want to step down. He thought he was going to win, but he's a dictator. He ain't leaving.
Uh-oh, somebody said new Q drop. I don't think. I was just looking. I'll just take a look, but no, there is. Unbelievable. Let's see here.
Seems like it's more power is more important. And if you got 20,000 angry mobsters, just go right.
So we did get a countdown that we're on now by Q, by the way. I'll let Scott read this one. But here, this is 2912, folks. It just came at a little bit ago.
Excuse me. All right. Which one am I reading right here?
They named it POTUS tweets on Hillary and Democrats. Watch the countdown. T minus 18 days now. Because we got a T minus 30, and we never knew. And then the other day we got a T minus 21. And I'm like, ooh, so it is counting down. Here's a Twitter we have to click first.
Oh, I see. Now that the 2-year Russian collusion case has fallen apart, there was no collusion except by Crooked Hillary and the Democrats. They say, gee, I have an idea. Let's look at Trump's finances and every deal he has ever done. Let's follow discredited Michael Cohen.
They have literally said they opened up, or they've been looking at 1981 business deals with.
They're not going to stop, man. They're not.
So there's that highlight of what you just read. Oh, I see. The 2-year Russia collusion has fallen apart. Let's follow discredited Michael Cohen. Here's another Trump treat, the rest of it.
And the fraudulent and dishonest statements he made on Wednesday, no way. It's time to stop this. It's time to stop this corrupt and illegally brought witch hunt. Time to start looking at the other side where real crimes were committed. Republicans have been abused long enough. Must end now.
Yes.
Thank you.
I think this is what we've been waiting on.
Well, yeah. Starts charging some of these people.
So they abused long enough. Must end now. Carpet bombs are okay. Tactical nukes are better. Minus in the brackets, minus 21, minus 20, minus 19, and minus 18. These are all dates that we had stuff happen. So we are literally counting down. Tomorrow would be negative 17. Folks.
Good. Hopefully somebody's going to get charged with something. It needs to be one of the big players. And by the way, didn't Weiner get out of jail already?
Did he already?
Yeah. Did I just hear that? Did any of you guys see that or hear that?
No, I know that Jeffrey Epstein didn't get much. Like the whole Loretta, the plane that everyone flew on. Nobody went down for nothing yet, really. That's what we need to kind of. Somebody put yes. What do you mean? Yeah, he's already out. Way
to elaborate, Bob. Yes. Yes to what?
Yes. Yes, Weiner is out. Okay.
R. Kelly is out. Well, yeah.
R. Kelly.
He hasn't went to court yet, but yes, Weiner is out. Ugh.
Would you take it that's Jesse Smollett that beat himself?
Didn't we do a show last week on that? No, you know what it was? Okay, good. I'm glad you brought this up. So you and I had our show, right? And we pretty much, I patted myself on the back because it did happen. Everything came out like 48 hours after. You see, Mike always says, folks, you heard it here first, right? But we sat right here and said, "Oh my gosh, this is a joke. He's a liar. He's staging all of this." We nailed the nail on the head about reverse racism and how this should be treated as a hate crime. He tried to use racism to get somebody else in trouble and whatever. The superintendent of the police in Chicago, I applaud him because he's in a liberal city, one of the biggest liberal cities. That's Obama's hometown. But had the guts to say what this kid did was wrong, just like what we were saying 40 hours prior. He was wasting valuable resources, time, energy that could have been saving other lives. I mean,
there's supposedly a practice tape of this that's come out now. They got there's so much more evidence that would make people sick that has come out that they haven't released yet. But the big thing is he was trying to get this recorded because think of the noise that would have happened if there would have been a videotape going around of the beating as well. Yeah. That's what they were wanting.
Right.
That's how elaborate they're trying to go, folks.
I find it hilarious. I'm more upset. I'm glad it's going the way it's going because I was more upset that, oh my gosh, he's not going to get punished at all. He's going to have too much liberal support. Well, now, the joke's on all of you that supported him, the Bill Maurs and the CNNs and everybody that felt bad and gave interviews and were crying. This is the kind of stuff that happens in the LGBT community. Get over yourselves. Your narrative is broken. Your own people are this is just, it was disgusting. And his ass belongs in prison. I don't know for how long. I'm not here to say throw him in there for 10 years, but whatever somebody would get thrown in jail for, time-wise, for if you did commit a racial crime like that, a hate crime, if you could potentially get 10 years for beating him, if it was two white guys or whatever, then he should get at least half that for making it all up.
Yeah, or just as much. I don't know.
I wouldn't even care. I don't feel sorry for him. He brought it upon himself, and all his supporters
champion him like he's a hero.
Yeah, he ain't no hero. Ugh, I don't understand that statement. People don't beat up LGBT. I don't understand. People don't beat up LGBT.
Yeah, they don't really beat up these people, but there's like hate crimes against them, they say. I mean, I think they have been. I don't know, this
last couple of weeks has just shown so much.
We were talking about it, it's like everyone's
stupidity.
Like, there's been a lot of the, I thought that one was justice. The guy was at a restaurant with a red hat on, and the girl kept coming up and knocking it off his head.
Yes.
And then the cops got called by the restaurant. He was in a Mexican restaurant. When the cops got there, the lady was like, he doesn't belong in a Mexican restaurant with that hat on. And after, like, well, did you take his hat off and hit him in the head? Yeah, but he doesn't deserve to be in here with that hat on. Well, she didn't deserve to be in the country. She was illegal. Here from, and the ICE.
Jesus. Passing judgment on somebody else.
She got arrested by ICE and is now being detained and out of here, folks. And she'd been here since like 2011 illegally. Like, oh man.
So she drew attention to herself.
Yep.
That's how stupid these people are.
Yeah. You go up to somebody, they start recording with their phone, and you think it ain't going to go nowhere. That video ended up going viral. And
he doesn't belong in this restaurant with that woman. You don't belong in this country. Holy smokes.
You're racist. It's like
the idiocracy is real. These people are stupid. I mean, and unfortunately, some of them are firefighters and doctors and lawyers and walking among us. That's the problem. But usually, what the one comedian? He's really good. He always slams politics. Shit.
Steve Crowder.
No, he's an older guy, gray hair. I know he's popular. He's got to be 70 by now, but you're always being duped. You're not in their club. He always says.
George Carlin.
George Carlin. One of his statements was,
George Collins.
Are you ever really astonished or shocked at how many stupid people there are in this country? And he says, and they're walking right around with us. They're embedded with us, people.
Yeah, he's dead, by the way.
Yeah.
He died.
And he said, it's our own stupid fault that they're still here and they're alive. We should have done something about it years ago.
It was funny.
He was great. He just said it all for what it was. Called it out. We're not in their club. They're just going to take and take and take and take. That one skit where he went on about taxes.
Yes.
And just about the time they think they have enough, or you think that they've taken enough, they're going to take a little bit more. Why? Because they can.
Because they can. I like his one on the terrorist one. Remember, he's like, I don't know. He goes through. Here's a funnier thing too. So with this whole paid NSA tracking system, where all everyone talks about, like Snowden came out, all the secrets of they track everybody, they know it all. Well, that was the point as they passed the Patriot Act, and then people in Congress had the concerns of, well, you guys might abuse this system. Oh no, we'd never abuse it, which they just got done doing.
Right.
But the big thing is so Trump was able to operate. He was able to operate all these ways until he decided to run for presidency. And then that's when they needed to, wouldn't they already known if he's working with some foreign country? Like, aren't they supposed to be tracking that for citizens to be working with foreign countries? If you're not part of the government, you're really not supposed to be. I mean, unless you're a businessman, you could probably do hotels and things like that. But
yeah,
they don't have anything. But they act like, the minute that, they got some information about it and they start looking into it. And we've been going 2 years. But yet we have this huge data tracking system that's supposed to capture everything, but it takes 2.5 years to go through all that.
Correct.
Or
because they can't just hit Control F and find exactly what.
So what is the point of having that system? Again, it's going to be a couple buildings go down by some planes and terrorist attack or however it worked, and then they go back to that system and then they look at everything and they're able to put a whole perfect story together because we see here on this date he went and bought this, and isn't that system supposed to work ahead of the game?
Right, not after.
Not after?
Right.
I don't get it.
Otherwise, you're just telling us what we already know. We just seen it on the news yesterday. I mean, God forbid.
I don't get it.
Within 10 minutes of the planes hitting the freaking towers, the narrative was always, man, it was.
Here's Steve. He's a Fox News contributor. Harley Davidson shirt on. I saw the whole thing, start to finish.
Trust me, I was
Listen
there.
to me, I was there.
Trust me,
this
I was there.
plane comes reaming in, and hit, and evidently the buildings fell due to structural fire, and
and it was Osama bin Laden and his people. I know because I seen him fly in the plane.
At the last minute, the guy waved to me,
and threw his passport out of the window. That big burning ball of fire. The bones were not even, found.
Didn't find a
but this
bone
little piece of
record.
plastic was shining. Real
But
quick.
his whole passport.
Oh, yeah.
It was like the FBI took a little lighter to the corner. We got to make it look a little singed.
Hey, look, I found it. No, it wasn't just sitting there. You just literally say, and look, we found four more.
Who found that? A civilian? No, a trained FBI agent who's on the look for that kind of stuff.
But 1,100 people disintegrated with those couple of pieces of plastic. And see, this is how we knew he was from Afghanistan or from.
Folks,
you might as well have just used red Crayola crayon and had a 5-year-old write your narrative.
It's like Bill Cooper. He's like. The biggest budget in the world, our intelligence community. They got the biggest taxpayer budget. We pay them a lot of money. They need it all, and they can't even find Osama bin Laden for 11 years. Yeah. But that reporter on CNN
send them a package via UPS. UPS would have found him. That's their claim. We'll get our package to you.
Yeah, and
we can fly robots to Mars and steer them around, but we can't find a guy wearing a turban in a mountain. Get out of here.
Yes.
What a scam. The Patriot Act was the biggest scam thrown at the American people. And
at a desperate time. We were desperate people at that.
Yeah. Please take more of our rights to ensure that this never happens again. You idiots.
See, folks, they
just like Social Security way back then. We are too stupid to save our money. We just went through a crash that nobody's ever seen before. Please start taxing us and save our money for us because we're too stupid to do it ourselves.
It's controlled chaos, and then they give us a solution. Like, you guys are going to be a little safer off if you just
trust us.
Yeah, trust us a little more. You don't need that gun.
No, because we can be there in 27 minutes to save your life if somebody breaks in.
So,
hold on a minute. Police aren't here. Don't shoot me.
They also act like, in New York, it's already almost impossible to own a gun. They said they've made it so outrageous for people to afford it. Like, you have to have to live in the city and to actually have this gun registered and the amount you have to pay, that it's almost privy to the rich and politicians. And, and then some of these politicians literally have it in their head, they've been asked, like, well, we have the right to guns. We're politicians. Like, they're in the limelight and they have the right to have protection. You're just normal. You don't need it. Well, then they shouldn't use the examples that happen to them then onto normal people, like as reasons why we shouldn't have our guns. Like right now they got the Brady Act revived. And the Brady is originally from the guy that got hit next to Ronald Reagan.
Yep.
The guy that took a bullet and ended up paralyzed. Well, why are you going to use that story to shoot out onto us? Correct. When that happened in the political realm? Keep that shit for yourselves.
Yeah.
That doesn't pertain to me. I just try to say it works both ways.
I don't have a bodyguard with me. I don't have big brick walls. I don't have the FBI and the NSA watching over me and protecting me. I'm supposed to have county sheriff's office. I'm supposed to have local municipality police officers, but I carry a 1911, right? One of my favorite guns. That because I can't depend on 911, 911. I can't call, you can't guarantee my safety 100%, right? You're going to say, well, stay on the phone, or sir, stay on the phone with us until help arrives. What good is that going to do, staying on the phone with you when somebody's breaking into my house? Well, if you stay on the phone, you'll be protected by this magical force field. And don't worry, you live out in the middle of boondocks, Mr. Philly. It'll take 29 minutes for them to get there. Good luck. That's what they might as well tell me. Don't stay on the phone. What the F is staying on the phone going to help?
And they always talk to them too. They're like, so where are you from? Or and they're like, just keep it down. It's like, if I wouldn't talk, they wouldn't hear me. You know,
Right.
it's like they're talking, and the next thing you know, they get found.
I don't think that a reasonable person can ever say that you should not own a gun in your house. I mean, reasonable people do own guns.
Yeah.
I can't count on you being there right away.
Oh, I was arguing with somebody on social media about that. I was like, liberal, like leftist idea, this isn't going to work. And they're like, how does it affect you? Like, you know, the guns being confiscated. Like, how does it really? I was like, well,
it does affect me.
It's just, folks, not everything has to affect you directly that minute to see that it's not, you know, it's always the other stuff they package in, the wording that scares you.
Pork.
Yeah. I don't want that whole.
Obamacare is a perfect example. 2,000 pages.
You don't need to read it before you sign it.
85% of it had nothing to do with health care. It was just, oh, we have to add this in order for that senator to vote for it. We have to add this for that Congress lady to vote for it. It was, the ACA is 85% crap.
Mm-hmm.
And it has nothing to do. It's built-in legislation just to make sure, well, we'll all vote for this, but you got to give me something in order. It was crammed into 2,000 pages, and that's what the Patriots is. Similar type stuff. They just add all this pork to get their real agenda across, but they're telling you in front of you, it's for your it's for your own good. You know, Obamacare is going to take care of you. Wrong. He lied to us.
Yeah.
I can't keep my doctor. I can't keep my same plan. 9/11, the Patriot Act. It's to protect you. Never let this happen to you again. They're playing on our emotional strings. That building falling down in New York did not affect me directly, physically. Did not hurt my car, or it hurt New Yorkers in a devastating way. But they just took all this power from all Americans based on an emotionally ran narrative, and it was all plotted and put together for this reason. It's just like Pearl Harbor supposedly happened, and that's when we finally got into World War II.
Yes.
You know, there's always, if you look closely enough, you're going to find in all of history, especially this country, it takes convincing the American people to go to war or to give up their rights. And if you pay attention to some of that big legislation, look what happened right in front of it, historically speaking. You know, 100 years from now, people are going to say, "Well, what happened? When did the Patriot?"
Loretta Horman. I don't own any guns, but I can split your head with a hatchet and throw a knife to your heart. Yes, yes.
You're going to have to be deadly accurate with that if I have a gun.
Yes.
You know?
That's.
I heard people say, "Well, I'm just going to collect gold." Well, good. You keep collecting gold. When the shit hits the fan, I have lead.
Yes.
I'll come take your gold. You can't throw your gold at me at 1,000 feet a second.
Too heavy.
My avocados? Not my avocados.
No, not my avocados.
Yeah,
anime.
See, God bless Texas. You know, take them out of my cold, dead hands. Hell, in Texas, if you see somebody breaking into your neighbor's house, you can shoot them.
Nobody cares about no LGBT alphabets. Just don't mess with the children. I agree, but me and Scott had this conversation about 10 years ago with the girlfriend he had at the time, and I was like, man, before long the pedophiles are going to, and the way I used to break that down was I, asked his ex-girlfriend back then, I was like, do you believe gay people are maybe born the way they are, or do you think they come that way over time? She goes, I don't know. A lot of my gay friends say that they're born that way, and I was like, okay, let's just go off of what they say. And you believe that, why wouldn't you? You have no reason to doubt your friend, and neither do I. So we'll say that that's how it is. Now, what about the pedophile? How can you put them in the same category? I was like, I'm not. I'm just saying, what if they claim they're born that way? Oh, I never thought about it like that. And what makes, so now
she's sympathetic to pedophiles. You said this 10 years ago, and I agreed with you, and we've talked about it with other people in the last 10 years.
And now they're trying to add the P on the LGBT.
Of course,
they want the P added.
That way. Oh, really? If that becomes legislation and it's wrong for me to beat the hell out of a pedophile and they call that a hate crime, I'm going to start the revolution, folks.
The pedophiles have protection now. You can't beat on them.
If you touch a child, I don't care if you're gay, lesbian. I don't care if you think you're a woman and you're actually a man, or the other way around. But if you, at any point you say it's okay to touch a kid, I'm pulling out my weapons, and I'm going to come find you. And because those are not the right people because if it passes, that just means there's politicians that are sympathetic to pedophilers, or they are themselves are pedophilers. And we know that some of them are. People in high power are drinking babies' blood and doing weird sacred...
Shit's going to stop, folks.
It's going to stop. If they put a P on the end of that and they call that a hate crime, well, I guess me and about 139,000 members are going to have to unite. We'll have our own little army. And nobody wearing a uniform is going to stop us.
Yeah.
They're going to defend us. There's no way this can happen. But I've seen stranger things happen. I will lose my mind if beating the hell out of a pedophile becomes a hate crime.
Oh, yeah. Even people in jail don't like the pedos. That's why they get killed.
Yeah, they don't last very long.
And that's the funny thing. It's like, and if they are born that way, I'm not giving them any credit. I would highly doubt it. I don't know, but all I'm saying is if they really truly claim they are, and if we do look at the science behind this sometimes, but it's like, how do you lock up a pedophile like they do for 6 months to a year and say, now when you get out, shame, 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 don't you touch again? It's like telling you, if you like women, which you do, and it's like you get locked up, and if they just want to be corrupt with you, like when you get out, you're going to like men from now on. You're like, lock me up for the rest of my life because I'll always like women.
Right. I'm guilty.
How do you change, Well,
here's my point. I have no, I'm not judge, jury, and executioner, but I can be. And I have no sympathy for murderers, rapists, or pedophiles.
Yes.
None. Zero. You're never going to make me feel guilty. Personally, if I find out you're a pedophile and you're around, if you're near me, I'll get assault and battery charge. I'm okay with that. Oh man,
there it goes.
Thanks.
Just wanted to help you.
We had a.
There it is. Oh, shoot. Did I break it?
Yeah, you broke the snot out. I don't know. I don't know what you did or didn't do. Technical difficulties.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
All right, we'll try that again. So yeah,
all right.
I don't think it should even be a crime to beat the hell out of a pedophile. I don't care if he did it 10 years ago. I don't know why you're back on the streets. That is one crime I've never understood. You can rape or molest a child. That said child's going to carry that thought and that BS with them for the rest of their life. But you can rehabilitate the person that did it? No, hell no.
The person that gets caught with, we're talking, around this area in these states in the Midwest 10 years ago, you get caught with like a pound of marijuana or maybe, a couple of grams of cocaine. You're doing a lot longer time, and you could be caught with that stuff at your own home. Not doing anything wrong, just like, wow, you're sitting here doing a lot of drugs all on your own. You're going to jail for hurting yourself. I don't know what they want to consider it, but man, the person touches another kid. People are looking at that individual to see what rights he may or may not. What about the little kid's rights and his?
They're gone.
They don't care about that. People are going to start protecting this person, and
that child can't be rehabilitated. You can't erase that memory, the physical scars, the emotional scars.
And I'm telling you, they're doing a good job. That Bill Maher, he's good at doing it. People. There are illegal immigrants and legal immigration. People like to blend them together and be like, Trump doesn't Trump is married to an immigrant. He hates him. Yeah, blah blah. He's married to one, so I doubt that he hates immigration. Illegal, legal, pedophiles. Bill Maher talked about a story about the teacher, that was 28, that slept with a 13-year-old boy, and they had a baby. She went off to jail, and Bill Maher's like, the only crime that happened there that it wasn't recorded. I mean, he's been
making jokes
and making it all fine when it's the 12-year-old kid to the 30-year-old woman. Either way you look at that stuff, folks, it's pedophile. It's there's laws. I mean, I know some states go down to 16. You can maybe get married, but we're talking basically if you're like definitely 16 or under. I don't know about some of these states. Yeah. To me, it's 18. for somebody to be a minor or not a minor, right?
Right.
18.
Right. Well, somebody had to draw the line in the sand, and when I was 18, I was a senior in high school. I was actually dating a sophomore, and they had yet turned 17.
There you go, yeah.
That's not risque in my mind. 34-year-old
It's like you're in that
escorting a
same
junior
high school
to the prom. That's a little weird, but it
Well,
still isn't that far-fetched.
I think it's
17,
more weird if like me too. I turned 18 my senior year. Now I would have turned 18, but I'm in that group of your high school. It's like there's kids from 15 to 18, sometimes 19, I guess, in there.
Sometimes 20.
It's not like the minute you become 18, your junior or senior year, at the beginning of your senior year, you're 18. You should never hang out with any of them.
Right.
That's who you're around 24/7. You work
Right.
with them. You're going to football parties and games and parties. And
Nothing wrong with that. It's when you're starting, when you're graduating as a senior and you're dating that second grader.
Yeah, that's when it gets a little weird.
That's a little weird. It has to be above junior high here, freshman.
I keep going back to the high school. They stay the same age.
That's a little creepy. Creepy's the right word. Wrong? I don't know. I actually, one of our admins said something about, they keep the pedophilers in prison separated. Not all the time. That's not a fact. Please understand that a lot of pedophilers do get killed in prison because they're not separated all the time. They're going to get to you. They don't get to all of them, though, and that's the sad thing, is because they're coming right back out of prison after doing their 2 or 3 years. Just put them in Gen Pop. We won't have a problem anymore. Yeah, there are too many of them. Just put them in Gen Pop all the time, and we won't have this problem.
Somebody put pedophiles should be executed, period.
Yeah.
But yet those in power that legislate law downward, it's like they have it labeled as, they almost want it to just look at it as jaywalking.
Yeah, well, like you said, they're on the verge, most likely, and we all know the 10% are the ones on TV, and the ones getting the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Most of us, we're against all this, but if it's put in front of you all the time, young people think, oh my God, it's on TV. Everybody must believe this way.
Yes.
Wrong.
They normalize it, right?
Exactly.
They normalize it, and then you start thinking, man, it ain't so bad.
Yeah.
Is it,
She said it in the 80s, lowering the age of consent to 12, then to 8.
RGB, was it? Yeah, you're right.
There's no reason to keep a pedophile alive. I doubt anyone here actually knows what a pedophile is. What?
Well, who's the pedos are predators, so they should be open season.
I doubt anyone here actually knows what a pedophile is.
What do you mean? Dwayne Mullinger, elaborate just a little bit, bud. There is no reason to keep a pedophile alive. I doubt anyone here actually knows what a pedophile is.
I agree with the first sentence. I don't understand the second step.
Pedophile is, I thought, one that preys on young kids.
Yeah. If I'm wrong, please tell me they didn't change the definition in Webster Dictionary.
The pedos in Indiana prison system filed a class action lawsuit saying they were being discriminated against. They wanted to be in general pop.
Let them. I go to prison 2 or 3 times a year. I'm actually going next week, but I play softball. I go to the local Legion meetings because they have a Legion in the local prison. I promise you, they don't want to go to Gen Pop. I can guarantee, David, that you might be right, and if they are discriminated against, I can't even believe a court would even take this case or hear their opinion. You touched a child. Right? You molested a kid. You have no opinions in my mind. And if I was that judge, I would probably say, what, you actually want to go to Gen Pop? Okay, I'm not going to say you're being discriminated. I'm not going to rule on that. You want to go to Gen Pop? There you go. Send you to Gen Pop. We're not going to have to deal with you next year or next month. You're going to die.
Yeah. Bottom line,
cast them down with the sodomites, man.
Pedophiles are people that have aggression and sexually flipped. They're only taking out anger for power. There you go. I mean, that's
pedophiles are people that have aggression and sexually
flipped.
Sexual flipped. They're only taking out anger for power. I'm not trying to argue at all, Dwayne. I'm trying to understand what you're trying to say. A pedophilia is molesting a child. right?
Yeah. Do they prefer?
Now,
Do they prefer? Like, is it a guy pedophile prefer a boy, or does he prefer the girl? You know, there's all the different little.
So no reason to keep them alive. Okay, I'm still agreeing with that, Dwayne. Yes. Put them in Gen Pop. We won't have this problem again. Unfortunately, you can't punish somebody for being a pedophile until they actually do it, right? So you can't just go around thinking, I think that guy's a pedophile, we should kill him. Or girl. Maybe we got to quit being sexist here.
Yeah. No,
The act doesn't make a pedophile. The act of having sex with a child doesn't make you a pedophile? I'm way confused now.
Who put that?
Dwayne responded again. The act doesn't make a pedophile. The act.
Huh.
If anybody else is reading this differently than I am, please.
Oh, I haven't.
Perverts. Pervert is a nice word to describe pedophilia.
Molest boys more than girls.
Yeah. Sexual feelings directed towards children. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good, that's...
Anyway,
I say we shut this down. We're at 1 hour and 30 minutes that we just did. So.
Yeah, I can feel it. I need some nicotine. Sorry, I'm a smoker.
All right, guys.
That doesn't offend anybody.
If it does, guess what?
I don't care.
It doesn't cost you anything.
It doesn't cost, yes. Being offended doesn't cost you anything. Nothing.
There ain't gonna be no new laws made it over it. Maybe there will be, but Dwayne, the act is control and most definitely sick. So either way, they are sick and need to be put in a padded room. Why padded? I say all metal.
I quit smoking today. Liar. Ooh. Talk to me tomorrow. You can't say you quit. Yeah, I quit an hour and a half ago, too.
I quit after my next one. Just joking.
I quit at 1:30.
Tomorrow.
No, I did. At 1:30. I quit smoking.
I stopped right after my last one. Smokers are a dying breed.
I don't like smokers. Stop
True
breathing
smokers
the air.
are a dying breed.
Don't like smokers. Stop breathing the air.
That's funny. Smokers are a dying breed. Non-smokers are a dying breed.
We're all dying.
Yeah.
So
you're dying.
But I like that libertarian spin right there.
Yeah.
Dying breed.
Smokers are a dying breed. Whether you smoke or you don't smoke. Sheila Hamilton, I smoke pot.
I smoke
weed. Burn one. Burn them if you got them.
I stopped 21 years ago. Well, good.
I smoke Newports, not Supports.
I don't smoke. The cigarette does. That's right. I don't inhale. I don't inhale. I just wave around $7 packs of cigarettes to look cool.
Right? Smoke weed every day.
I just can't do it. Can't do it.
I thought you were men. Cuba has long. I thought you were men. Are you men? Are you mice?
Yeah.
Are we mice or are we men?
Well, here's the cool thing is we're in America. You can smoke or not smoke. I don't care. But apparently, if you don't smoke and you bitch loud enough and you get offended, my cigarette prices go up.
Yes.
And I get kicked out of certain places because I tend to smoke. You know what? If you're 380 pounds and you sweat profusely and have heart attacks on the regular, and I see you at McDonald's, I'm going to be offended. So we all have our issues.
I smoke marijuana, but I don't inhale it.
I smoke it.
I smoked marijuana, but I didn't exhale.
You know, there's all kinds of things. Some people sail boats. Some people watch porn. Some people smoke cigarettes. Some people climb mountains. Why is it your freedom and your right to enjoy what you want to do, but you want to raise my taxes on my cigarettes because it offends you? I didn't put the cigarette in your face. I didn't even blow it in your face. Most of you don't even live around me or will never see me. So you should not have the right to vote to make my taxes on my cigarettes go up. Or I'm going to tax your treadmill or your sofa or, come on.
Grammy Quilter, new Q drop.
Uh-oh.
We already did it. It's I just looked, there's no more.
Scotty Q. Jack Rooney.
Somebody put a cigarette, Larry Q, 1951. A little meme.
I drink coffee. Shame on you, Mary. Shame.
I drink Coke.
Shame on you. It's bad for you. Tax that. Once they're done taxing our cigarettes and banned cigarettes, where are they going to get all this tax money from, folks? They're coming after your
breathing of air.
It's
gonna, it's going to be. We could. You breathe air. That's worth something.
Yeah. Starbucks coffee. Anybody that spends $5 on a coffee is considered, in my world, stupid. Tax them for stupid.
Starbucks coffee.
Not saying it's bad. I mean, I have had, but if you buy it on the regular, that's as bad as me spending $7 for a pack of cigarettes.
Booze will be taxed next.
Booze is taxed.
I know.
They tried that. They can't remove booze. They can't do it.
Legal weed gun grab.
Taxes for farting.
Taxes for farting. Sun dropping cigarettes. I drink beer. A good view tax. I remember that one. Like, who's to decide what your good view is? The guy opens up your curtain, it's like, oh, that's a nice view. Really, sir? It's a brick building over there. It's a big brick building. Yeah, it's really nice with that graffiti on it. So we're gonna have to up your taxes here, ma'am. That's really
26 Democrats just voted with the GOP to pass the ICE legislation.
Which was that one for?
Go up a little bit. I don't know.
26 Dems just voted with GOP to pass ICE amendment. What was that ICE amendment for? To get more of them, to keep them on the borders, or what?
Well, if it was an amendment brought up by the GOP, I'm sure it's for more.
Did something pass over the Senate today for anything either?
I like popcorn. Susan, you should be tax reading popcorn. Grow your own Tabasco. You mean tobacco?
Tabasco. Where's it at? Where is that? Grow your own Tabasco. All right.
How do I think she meant tobacco.
How do I grow it?
How do I grow Tabasco?
That's a lot of process.
Freaking Hoosier. Congress is trying to reverse the FAM bill already.
Grow your own Tabasco, folks. That's what we're doing.
Oh, boy.
And if you do that, I got a bridge to sell you in...
Freaking Hoosier. Nicholas, do you mean Hoosiers, or are you saying a freaking Hoosier congressman?
Maybe she moking spot. Maybe she moking spot.
Moking spot.
Weed is legal, but new law says if you smoke weed, you're not permitted to apply for firearms.
Probably Trudeau.
Probably Trudeau. Against the ICE.
Scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Type deal with Cohen.
That's right. Tax for Jesse Smollett's defense team. If you roll your cigs, you end up paying less than $1 a pack.
No, I ain't got time.
I ain't got time for that,
tell you
man.
What, you roll my cigs and I'll give you $1 a pack.
Poking smut.
Poking smut. Hoosiers are good people. You darn right we are.
Poking smut.
She forgot she was smoking.
She forgot she was smoking.
I quit smoking yesterday.
Tobacco autocorrect. All right.
Autocorrect.
Grow your own Tabasco.
What do you mean autocorrect?
I like Tabasco better.
The computer would rather you type Tabasco than tobacco?
Yeah, I think you...
How do you autocorrect? Now, hold on now. I know she's probably right or whatnot, but you can't say autocorrect because you typed the word tobacco and then said grow your own Tabasco. Oh, so why didn't autocorrect it the first time?
Yeah.
You were trying to be funny is what you were doing.
Sometimes it does the one if you don't have your phone set right where it puts in words instead of...
I hate that. When you type S when Google.
Yeah.
You type any letter, all of a sudden Google thinks you're a porn addict. Like A. Oh, did you mean a horse and a woman? Or the letter T. Did you mean Tom and Dixie? It's like, damn, Google, you pervert.
Poking spot.
Poking spot. Show the CPAC panel a lot of juicy info.
My daughter gives me weed. That's a good daughter.
That's horrible. I hope your daughter's an adult.
She's 6.
You can do cartons for $15 if you roll them yourself.
Nice.
Randy, one of our guys.
She likes Tabasco and types it a lot. Does she? Daniel Bird, it's always Tabasco.
I have a sense of humor.
I'm dying here. I'm dying too. That was a good laugh.
I'm glad we can giggle a little bit. I'm getting off this show. I got to go have me some of that Tabasco. It's Friday. God bless you, people. Don't forget that you're an American. Don't forget you have certain inalienable rights.
Frank's hot sauce, I put that shit on everything. My smokes, my weed, my coffee.
God, your colon's got to be...
Man. Use it for lubricant sometimes.
Oh, no. No. I'm pretty sure that's not a good idea. You did not hear that from the Patriot Hour. Tabasco is not considered a lubricant.
Tabasco.
If you do such a thing, make sure you videotape it and send us the video because I would.
Frank's hot sauce.
Oh.
Yeah, the real crime in that would be you not taking a photo, folks, and video.
Oh my gosh, I've touched my eyes on accident after getting that stuff. I would not want to even consider using it for.
Ellie's got her hot sauce in her bag. I bet you do.
Hey man, I like Frank's hot sauce. You know, I put that on a lot of stuff. I do not use it as lubricant though. No.
Ouch! Somebody put ouch.
Yeah, ouch.
I love Frank's, but not that much. Oh yeah.
Susan Hall, get a pic of the lube. If anybody's using a hot sauce of any kind as a lube, I'm sorry, I'm not a pervert, but I do want to see.
It's not. It's got to burn the bum. It's not made for between the buns.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
All right,
what he meant by that is it doesn't belong on hamburgers.
Don't use Vicks Vapor Rub either. Somebody said, okay, we'll keep that in mind.
This goes along with the stupid people in the world. I don't want to know why you
Talk
said
about
don't
fire
use
in the hole.
I don't want to know why somebody just said don't use Vicks as a lubricant. That means you have done such a thing. And if you've done that, you're now in that one category. We're going to have to work your way back over to being smart again.
Tabasco lube, Dr. Crockett's rectum rocker.
I think we're going to offend some of our listeners.
Yes. Sorry, guys. Just getting a little bit of Filthy Friday edition.
Bill Maurer, he spelled it wrong. Red Shoes Podesta of Brothers Club. Bill Maurer, Red Shoes Podesta of Brothers Club.
I know all about it. Bill Moore.
Okay.
He wears the red shoes, which are made out of kids.
Did he mean to say more?
Mar. Yeah, he's probably misspelling. I noticed a lot of these Patriots don't ever spell anything right. I have to decipher.
Yeah, we got to put our own stuff in there. What he really meant to say was, do use Tabasco or I smoke Tabasco.
I think they do it on purpose. That way the bad people here don't catch on, and we have to kind of decipher. I'm just joking. Honey, was that the
California age for prostitution is 6 years old?
Where?
Get the F out. Number one, prostitution is illegal. So what are you saying here?
No, they made it. They did do some funny laws, and see the way they write this up, it was they twisted stuff, and then they took it away to affect kids, and then therefore it was legal. So the states that are going for legal prostitution, legalizing prostitution, they flip things to where the law doesn't apply to a minor, and then therefore, oh man, it gets. Somebody can maybe elaborate on that.
So needed.
We were just getting into it the other day.
We can't have fun and laugh, and you know what? I'm okay with this. I like that somebody just said "Filthy Friday." Listen, we're all adults. We can have some adult humor. Again, I'm not justifying or saying to use anything like red hot sauce or Noxzema in your rectal area or any of that region. I'm not a doctor, but I am pretty sure it's not a good idea. But hey, man, it's America. Feel free.
Yes.
I do want to see video though.
Yes.
It's not because I'm sick. It's because I like it. Sometimes I enjoy watching stupid people do stupid things. Because then I get to tell it well, I wouldn't show it to my kids, but there are clips of people being stupid. I can just use this as examples to my children. Here, don't do this, and this is why. It's not a good idea to jump off a 3-story building onto a trampoline and expect to be okay.
Yeah, California wants to legalize pedophilia and make it normal gender category and also lower the age of consent to 12. That's what they're doing. And then
I would like to start a campaign of can we be humans? Can we be real adults on this show and our listeners? Can we not talk about gender labeling? Can we just say it for what it is? Hi, sir. Hi, ma'am. Yes. Can we start a movement of our own? You are man or you are woman. Past that, I don't care. I don't care that you're a man that likes men. I don't care if you're a man that likes sheep. As long as you don't like kids, I don't have a problem with it. Why do we keep labeling ourselves? You know, people call me Mr. or Sir. I'm not offended by any means, and why should I be? Clowns.
Yeah, you hear it from
two
Scott.
genders. That's right. Two genders.
That's right. Science. We're going to go with a little bit of science, folks.
I'm going to go with my gut and say God intended there to be two genders, and that's what we got, and that's all we'll ever have. You can't just magically just call yourself a lizard. You know, I remember there was a talk show where somebody did do that. He had screwed in things, spikes, and he had sharpened his teeth, and he actually had a plastic surgeon put a tail on him, and he got tattooed green with scales. That doesn't make you a lizard. You're still a human being, for one. You're still a man. Even cutting your junk off. Sorry, you're still a man.
That's right.
But that didn't make that guy a lizard. He's like, I'm a lizard. No, you're still a human being.
You just did effects to look a little lizardish.
Yeah. You might, yes. But I'm not going to identify you as a lizard because you don't crawl in the mud and into the waters and eat flies, do you?
Yeah.
Well, I could. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're getting closer to identifying you as a lizard. Until you can pop a baby out of your vagina, you are not a woman. So a man cannot be a woman, and a woman cannot be a man. And science backs it up. Physics backs it up. Just because you want to be something.
Give Scott the last word here. Any words of about an hour and 30 minutes?
Yeah, I'm sorry, we ran.
Fine.
Wannabe. Don't be a wannabe. Be yourself. Don't be a lizard. Don't be a he-she. Don't be a pedophiler. Be yourself. And if that offends you, I'm sorry. Like Mike says, doesn't cost you anything. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't be a wannabe.
All right.
Deuces.
All right. This is Mike and Scott from the Patriot Hour. We're glad you guys were here with us. This will be put onto the Patriot Hour tonight as a premiere. I know there's always a live crowd, and we enjoy it. And then there's a group that just likes to watch them. So this will be put up there if you want to catch it over there later, just to, and all the live chat will be available again because it'll be a premiere. So I'm going to do a premiere tonight on this video. We'll label it Freaky Friday or something. I don't know.
The Lizard King.
Filthy Freaky Friday. All right, folks. We'll see you back here later on tonight or tomorrow at some point for sure with all the news coming out. I'll be close to the keyboard here. All right. Well, have a great Friday evening. God bless. Godspeed to each and every one of you.
Be good.